I'm trying to smack. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Fatima.
This is
Fatash.
Fatash.
Ashley has her
Happy
mouth
New
full of
Year.
something. Ew.
Let me know. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Hold on. Oh God. Oh.
Are
That's
you just over there like falling and destroying all of your figurines
no,
on
the
accident?
mic clamp I have is not doing its job, and the mic came out.
Hmm.
Anywho,
Did you see how I fixed my shadow?
I have every show the shadow becomes less and less.
Yep, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Jesus fucking. So how was your New Year's?
It was great. Even though I found two food related ways to piss off my family this week.
Oh boy, what you do? Was it on purpose?
It was on accident. I thought like I was like making like an artistic choice. And then everyone was like, no,
You know your
wrong.
change in artistry. When you gonna learn? Even I know that.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay.
Who
So
did that?
remember,
Oh,
I had my cake related woes on Christmas
right.
where
Because you came
yeah,
up with a new like flavor combination.
exactly. But then I had like so much spice cake mix left over that I figured, okay, I'll just do a one layer cake and that will get rid of some of it. And then I had to learn how to do that. And I just did it by measuring. And then, like, typically the recipe calls for 3 eggs. There's no way to do 1.5 eggs. So I figured I'd do like 1 egg and some sour cream or Greek yogurt or whatever. We had sour cream on hand, so I just used that. And it turned out great.
What? Sour cream and a
Uh-huh.
spice cake?
Yeah. No one knew. No one knew it was there. Oh, you can use sour cream in baking. You can use it in like
I'm
I
not
made it
saying
with
you can't. I'm
huh?
just saying like I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying like usually I think of sour cream and it's like I don't like sour cream the way it's been utilized around me.
Hmm.
But, like I really have to like sit back and think like, well, it is kind of like a creamy tart kind of taste, so that could work. Like especially maybe in lieu of like lemon or something to get that kind of tarty taste. Making up words.
It came out really fluffy. You wouldn't know. You
Wow,
wouldn't know that
that's
that's what I had
crazy.
done.
Sour cream. Okay.
See? And the more you know, right?
I know, but like that's one of those things you gotta tell me after the fact. Because if you tell me off top there's sour cream in it, I'm probably not gonna want to eat it. But if you tell
I
me
didn't
after
tell my
that,
family at all. I didn't tell them at all. And
as
like
you shouldn't tell your family nothing about what you put in it. Just let them eat it and enjoy it.
and I had some walnuts in there and a little bit of coconut, so like some nice textures going on. Okay, here's the thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know those frosting, like you have options in the way that you frost a cake, right? You can frost it all around, or you could just put the frosting between the layers. Have you seen cakes like that?
The only time I've ever seen that is if like that's just like step one of them icing the entire cake. Like if there's multiple layers,
No, there's like you can just frost it like in between the layers and then
I'm
have
not
like
saying
the
you
top
can't.
layer.
I'm not saying you can't. Again, I've just never seen it. I just always seen it when people have a multi-layered cake. They put the icing in between, and then they'll put like a different icing over the entirety of the cake.
Well, let me ask you this. When you
Mhm.
eat a cupcake, where's the frosting?
On top.
And nowhere else, right?
Yeah, because there's wrapping paper around the other part.
Yeah, well, I chose to just frost it on top. I thought it looked cute.
Mm-hmm. So on you did it on top and between the layers.
No, it was just one layer, remember?
Oh,
Because
my
I
bad.
only have a piece of a box cake because I used some of the other ones to add to the carrot cake from the previous week.
Okay.
So I just put the frosting on top and I swirled it and I thought it looked cute.
It sounds cute.
Why was everybody mad?
It's your family. Your family does not trust you. I don't understand. I don't. This irritates the hell out of me when people are, for all intent and purposes, an expert in whatever thing that they are doing, and the niggas that don't do the things that you do, let alone the ones who always ask you to do the thing that you do, want to complain about the things that you do that they enjoy when you do what you do. Why can't they just have faith that you know what you're doing? You make them dinner and dessert all the time, and 9 times, if not 10 out of 10 times, they like what you come up with.
Yeah.
It's just a ritual. It's just a ritual at this point. They just gonna complain just to complain, and then they gonna eat it, and then they gonna love it, and then they gonna ask you to make it again.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
Woo,
Dad said, why is the cake naked? Mom made up a rumor that I ran out of frosting. I surely did not.
I'm gonna need them to have more faith in your ability to do the thing that they like you doing. Like, it is so frustrating every time. I'm like, what? I don't see the rest of y'all in the kitchen cooking.
And then they ate it, and then they was like, well, that should have been a 2-layer cake. And then I was like, I would need a full, that would defeat the purpose of what I was trying to do here. I was just trying to like use up some of the cake bog mix. I was not trying to make a full spice cake. We just had cake. How much cake do y'all want?
They just want to be fat.
No, because then they'll complain about that.
Well, they can complain about that. Ain't nobody telling them to eat all the cake. You could have had half a slice.
Yes. I made it. They complained about the way it looked when it was frosted, and then they ate it and they loved it.
See, and I don't really like frosting like that, so I probably would have enjoyed that. I'm like, oh, thank God nobody just skeeted over the entire cake. They just put a little light layer of icing, and then you tell me there's sour cream in it. I'm like, what? Was it in the batter or in the?
It's in the batter. It's in the batter.
Yeah,
and and it's just taking the place of half of an egg.
And see, I don't even I like sweets, but I don't eat baked goods like that. You make me want to actually try your baked goods.
Aw.
And I don't like cake because of icing. But the way you be like coming up with just some crazy ass ideas, and I'm like, you know what? At this point, I trust Fatima. I don't know how she be coming up with these combinations, but I'm curious to know how those flavor combinations actually work.
Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it,
and that's what all that matters.
Shoot, and everybody else liked it too. I had to back Trevor up off of it. Like, hey.
Look,
you're trying to eat 3 slices in one day. Dad didn't even get a slice yet. He's like, oh.
If they didn't even eat it, that's just more for you.
No, they ate it.
Of course they would. They always complaining, but they gonna eat it.
They ate it and they liked it.
Don't make no goddamn sense. Let's shut up and eat the cake. Eat the cake, anime.
But I did finally make a thing that they said that they didn't like, but they ate it.
What was that?
That was homemade hamburger helper. And I made it with turkey. And I thought that I was making something that everybody would love, because we used to eat it all the time in the 80s. And then they were like, no, we stopped eating it because we hate it. And I was like, oh, I thought.
Yeah, no, I'm with your family on that one.
You would like a visit from an old friend, and they're like, no, we ain't seen the old friend because we don't like that bitch. And I was like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I was down. I'm with your family on that one.
Nobody asked for an old friend, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
They said we don't like that bitch. She ain't a friend. He ain't a friend.
But I was like, but it's different because it's homemade. It's like not the cheese in the processed cheese, it's like regular cheese. It's not beef, it's turkey. It's everything the way we like it, right? Trevor liked it. I like it. Mom and dad did not like it, but also they said it wasn't bad, so they ate it, but they didn't like it.
I mean, again,
I will never make it for them again. I will make it for myself at some point.
Here's the thing. Hamburger Helper to me was always a struggle meal.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a very like, and for me, struggle meals are just usually one or two ingredients type situations. So that was very much a lot of the meals that we grew up on, and at my house, if you couldn't just otherwise throw it in the oven and cook it, then it was like hot dogs and beans. It's just beans, hot dog, spaghetti, meat, sauce, noodles. No more than like 3 like main ingredients to the dish kind of thing.
I used to be really happy to get some Hamburger Helper because
hated Hamburger Helper. It was like
I was
meat, noodle, and like a cheese or something. Did not like it.
I grew up as a latchkey kid where it's just like
same.
Okay, feed yourself a Hot Pocket.
Yep, Hot Pocket, cheese sandwich, bowl of cereal.
Yeah. I learned how to make twice baked potatoes. But yeah, so when I got like Hamburger Helper or Tuna Helper, I was like, ooh, mom cooked.
Tuna Helper.
Yes, you didn't know that Hamburger Helper had a tuna counterpart called Tuna Helper. I was still eating Tuna Helper in grad school.
I mean, I eat tuna, like
I
mixed up with some like
Tuna
mayonnaise, and I think my mom mixed like maybe MiraQuip or something, and we just make like sandwiches out of it.
If there's like, because like also that is a struggle meal, and
yes, it is.
But like but I really love it because it's cheap. And also you can pair that with like some roasted Brussels sprouts or whatever, and then just be like, okay, so I've got food for the week and I don't need to waste my money out on the street. Dinner is done, and it's going to be done.
To be fair, I call it a struggle meal, but there is no shame in eating any of the struggle meals that I mentioned. The hot dogs and beans, man, that's still hits the spot. I haven't made it in a minute, but the hot dogs and beans with the brown sugar beans, oh girl.
Some Tuna Helper, some roasted Brussels sprouts, some Jello for dessert, and
Jello.
yeah, I feel like, okay, I'm going to make it through the week, and my groceries did not bust the bank this week.
Yep, spaghetti, that can last me a good week.
Yeah,
solid week.
When I first get my paycheck, yes, I'm going to have some salmon and all of that shit. But when I'm like waiting for my check for the next week, it's Tuna Helper. It is. Yeah.
But yeah, I never like Hamburger Helper. Maybe it was the processed food and stuff.
I took some chances, and the spice cake was a hit. And they're like, now we know that we like a different type of cake, and we want you to make another one. And we want the full cake, and we want you to ice it completely.
The Hamburger Helper, though,
never make Hamburger Helper again. We are not pasta people or bread people.
So they had an issue with the noodle part of it.
I don't know what they have an issue with, but it seems like whenever I think they're just not pasta people. No,
that's fair.
No, they're not pasta people. They're not bread people. That's probably another reason why they did not have a great time in Italy. Well, they did have a good time in Italy, but they did just say like, "Ugh, the food." They're like, they were so glad that they were going to Mexico.
Y'all don't like carbs and noodles, but y'all went to fucking Italy and was surprised that they had carbs and noodles with everything.
All the time, for every meal.
Girl.
They were happy. They were relieved. They were like, yes, we're glad that we booked this trip from Mexico right after Italy. We need to get right back with some fresh
Every time
fruits
your
and
mom go to
vegetables.
Mexico, she gets sick though. She need not go to Mexico. Didn't she go to Mexico and catch COVID?
One time, but also she caught it in Italy.
Mm.
And then she went to
Starting to think that
Mexico,
your
and right afterwards she
I'm
didn't
starting to
she
think
didn't
your
get it.
mom is patient zero because she's the one. She the common denominator in all these trips.
No, I think she caught it like the first time she caught it, and
Mm.
that she had such a rough experience that it forever damaged her immune system, so that now it's just
Mm.
easier for her to catch
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
despite the
So
fact that she masks when she's indoors. It's just that one-way masking is not as effective as two-way masking, and other people aren't masking anymore, even
yeah.
in like really closely indoor, like closely like packed indoor spaces such as like airports,
Mm.
airplanes, conferences, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
For sure. How old is your mom? She in her 70s?
No, she's in her 60s.
Oh, really?
She's 8
Oh.
years younger than my dad, which
Mm.
is not unusual.
No, that's not. Yeah,
Most
no.
women
My
are older than them.
yeah, my the man I recognize as my father is like 10 years older than my mom. So, but no, I asked that because my grandfather also stay catching COVID, and he's in his like early mid 70s, and I mean, part of that
Hmm.
just comes down to just being old. Like, I have to keep telling my nana, I'm like, Nana, I know you think that because you working out now that you can hang with us young folks like that, but you can't. I'm sorry, but your body's is old. It's 70 some odd years old. You've been moving this body for like 70 some odd years old, and you dragging a wagon. I so your body's just it's worn down. I'm sorry to say, but it's like it's just where it's kind of like that wear and tear that just comes with using something on a regular. Even when you do take care of it, there's just
Actually,
certain
there's a lot,
things.
like there's lots of variability when you get
Yeah,
to
but
that age.
still, like just by virtue of just again, you use something regularly enough, even when you take care of it, it's just not going to be as high functioning as it was when it first came out the shop, you know? But she like
Mm.
does not want to hear that. I'm like, yeah, I know you got new knees, but like, Nana, Nana, come on now. Your immune system is still like 70 some odd years old.
Okay, I will say it again. There's lots of variability in
There is
aging, and you get to see it if you go to the gym.
for
Um,
sure, but at the same time, if you're someone who's like been active all your life constantly or even like consistently for like 10 years, there's definitely going to be a difference between you and someone else your same age who is not hitting the gym like that. For sure. Nana has only recently started going to the gym
aw.
twice a week.
Well,
Okay,
if
so
she's
she ain't
feeling
there.
good, like don't
Oh
discourage
no,
her.
I know, but like I have to just remind her of her limits because like she'll feel down on herself that like she can't move like she used to. I'm like, Nana, it's okay. You're still moving more than other folks. You're still coherent. You still having conversations. It's just you're also old. Let yourself be old. It's okay. It's alright. It's okay. But Pop embraces being old. He don't care. He's like, yep, I'm gonna get sick again, and y'all just gonna have to deal with it.
No,
He don't want to work out like that. Like he used to work out a lot when I was younger, but as he's gotten older, he's just like, nah, I'm gonna just hang out on my chair. I'm gonna use the what's it called, the handicap spot when I can. I'm not walking as far as I need to. Nope, not gonna do it because I'm
my
old.
father is very active. But he's always moved. He's always been consistent with his movement. He's always been doing something. Like I remember when he still worked at the university, like part of his morning routine was to get up and do some exercises. He did core exercises. He did
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of like strength and body weight exercises just like in the living room. in front of the TV with music videos on.
Mm.
And his routine now is that, like, when he wakes up, he hits the treadmill for at least 30 minutes. And he has like fitness goals just like on his Apple Watch, and he hits his goals before 11 typically.
Damn. Yeah, it's crazy to just see the switch between my grandparents, because like I said, my grandfather back in the day, he stayed in workout clothes, like in his like 40s 50s. He was like at the gym almost like regularly, and my nana wasn't. And now it's the opposite. Now my grandma is in the gym whenever she can. She's walking, like she likes to take walks around the cul-de-sac, but my grandfather doesn't like her walking by herself because they live in like a Trump neighborhood. But he won't walk with her. He'll get in the car and just drive beside her.
Well, at least he's supportive. At least he's showing support.
He's supportive. He won't tell her, no, you can't go walking. It's dark outside. He'd be like, you can't go walking without me. Let me get the car. But it's just funny just seeing that reverse, because she had, like I said, she got her knees replaced. So after what's it called, physical therapy, she just liked the activity that she was doing. So she was like, can I just come back? And they're like, yeah, you can just come back. So she just does that now. So we're actually encouraging her to maybe take up weightlifting. She could be like an older lady doing deadlifts and stuff. Like, man, that'd be so cool. You can get your body to that. You totally do it. Yeah. So, you know, we're all encouraging, but at the same time, you just got to know your body's limits. You just can't move like you used to. So you just got to just mitigate and just move accordingly. Wear your mask. Stay away from crowds.
Yep.
I too I'm not necessarily getting into the gym. I actually just spoke to my therapist about that. I told her I just don't like gym environments. I just don't like people. It comes down to. It's just something about people being around that just, I don't like it. Even though I haven't had like a bad experience in the gym, like everyone pretty much stays to themselves. They do what they do. You know, if you need help, usually people will help. I haven't had any like weirdo dudes coming up behind me asking me for help or nothing like that. Also, I don't look like nothing at the gym either, so I ain't really pressuring nobody. But ooh, let me go talk to her. So there's that too. But personally, I don't know, the gym. Nah. I don't like it. But that's me.
I don't like how gyms operate as businesses. I had okay, so like growing up, there was a local gym that I went to, and I had to go to it because that's like it had indoor tennis courts, and that's where I did all my training and shit like that.
But you still had to have like a subscription or something.
And I love that gym and had nothing but positive experiences at that gym. But then as an adult, I moved up to Appleton, Wisconsin for a job, and I got a gym membership. Same deal. They had tennis courts and stuff. And I used the gym membership, but sporadically. But like I did a lot more of my workouts at home with just like yoga and Pilates. And also, if it's a nice day outside, I do not want to be inside of anywhere. I want to be walking, running, you're doing whatever outside.
They should have gyms where when the season allows it, you can actually have some of the equipment outside.
Well, that's another thing that I loved about the gym that I grew up going to. They had indoor courts and outdoor courts and indoor pools and outdoor pools. And also during the summer, they would have like a little place where you could like get food and stuff. So you could be at the pool and get out and get a pizza. Like you could spend the whole day there.
Okay, now that sounds like a gym worth paying money for.
Right. So, and also because I grew up going to that gym, once I did, grow up, go to college, came back, didn't have a membership anymore, but everybody at the front desk knew me, so I would just walk in. So,
hey, that That works too. A lot of these like
which I always appreciated.
A lot of these like apartment buildings nowadays, I'm looking into moving. Don't know when I'm gonna move. I'm really just stacking my money right now, but looking at some of the options for like there's like certain buildings around the city that have a certain number of like low income or lower income for that area apartments that you can apply to. And some of these buildings, oh my gosh, like the amenities are insane. There's like this one spot, they have like an outdoor pool, but they also have like an indoor wave pool or something, and a hot tub, and they've got gyms and dog washing stations. I'm like, what? I just want my unit to have a balcony and a washer and dryer. That's all I want. But like a lot of these places, these apartment buildings are like really trying to build up the community aspect of the amenities. And I'm like, but I don't want to be around y'all. But it is nice though. Like at least if I'm gonna be paying like $1,200 for rent, it comes with a gym. A small gym at that. So even if I do have to deal with people, it's not a lot of people.
Right.
And I can go whenever. But I don't have that kind of amenities at my current apartment. So I went to Five Below today and I got me a Pilates bar. So
Yay.
We'll see if that does anything. See how long I can stick with it. I already have some like 5-pound weights, I want to say, for my they're 5-pound weights that I actually strap on, and I try to be in the habit of wearing them around the house. I need to find some weights where I can like slip them on like shoes, because having to strap them on is like, I don't feel like doing all this shit. But I'm gonna put my weights on and I'm gonna do my little Pilates, you know, maybe get that. You see how my body look in the avatar? I got that little whatever's going on the belly. I'm gonna try to get that in real life. Work on my upper body strength a little bit, or just, you know, try to define it. And maybe that'll do something for me. I don't know, but my therapist says I should try to be active. So,
well,
what's your experience been with Pilates? You said you would do more Pilates and yoga at home.
Yeah. I am still using the Pilates and yoga DVDs that I used 20 years ago, quite frankly, because
I mean, it ain't much gonna change.
And also, like, I'm really lucky while I live here, like there's a trail outside like nearby, and also we have a treadmill. I just hit the treadmill today. And I have found a lot of different like weightlifting stuff on YouTube. Also, I found like an influencer that I like that gives you like a weekly like weekly goals and stuff to do with that is just like body weights, body weight type stuff such as push-ups, sit-ups, squats, that kind of stuff. But yeah, the reason why I don't like the gym, like other gyms that aren't my gym that I grew up going to, is that when I tried to end that membership up in Appleton, they asked for so much bullshit about, we need proof that you're moving, we need proof that you're like getting a new job. They tried to like
bullshit the
milk
fuck
me. Yes,
you don't need proof for any goddamn thing. You just need to know that I don't want to pay for this no more.
Nope, they make it super difficult for you to end your contract there. Look at, and like people are talking about it more now, but a lot of these gyms like have all sorts of shady shit in the contract and make it super difficult for you to end your membership.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And that is why the whole time I was in Chicago, I would get Groupons for like little trials, and like 1 week here, 1 week there. I was not going to sign up for a membership for a gym. I might not ever do so again in life.
Mike just said in the chat, you know, I was about to say that there's a law that was passed about it in Chicago.
Oh, good.
And I remembered. I didn't know if this was like a nationwide thing or a Chicago thing, but yeah, the whole rigmarole that you'd have to go through just to try to cancel your gym membership was insane.
Yeah, it made me not want to get another membership ever again in life, especially since, like I said, like I used it, but only sporadically. And I like doing stuff at home, not because I feel any way. I've never been harassed at the gym. And I have a lot of experience going to the gym, but just because it's easier for it to fit into my day.
Yeah. And that's and that should be something that you're allowed to determine for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Because for other people, yeah, they like going to the gym, and then they have to figure out what time of day they like going to the gym. Like my aunt, she likes going in the mornings, because if she goes in like the evening, she said it's a completely different crowd.
Yeah.
And it's like she don't like that crowd. She said it's like they let the folks out of the prison yard into the gym. I'm like, oh my god. But again,
I like also like being able to go through my routine uninterrupted because I'm not waiting for a machine.
Yeah. And again, depending on what your schedule is, you might only have time after work, like everybody else after work.
Right.
Or your gym isn't 24 hours, or it doesn't open up early enough for you. Like, these are certain things that you don't figure out until you're actually going through having a membership and trying to fit it into your life. And you're probably not going to figure that out until like after the trial period is over, because the trial period is only like what, maybe a week?
Yeah,
maybe a month.
But that's also why I loved Groupons. And Groupons like pay for 1 week, pay for 1 week here, pay for 1 week there. Like, don't sign a contract. My contract is with Groupon.
And this capitalist ass economy, I should be able to get up and leave whenever the fuck I want. Like, the only time I feel like contracts are like really, really important is when it's like business to business kind of thing.
Right.
Like, we have to be locked into X amount of time working with each other because that's the length of a particular project kind of situation.
But that is how like a lot of subscription based services are now. And then you have to hire now a third party to get you out of shit, such as to get you out of these subscriptions that you've signed up for, because these companies do not want to let you go.
Shoot, just being on fucking newsletters be getting on my nerves. I sign up for newsletters and they be like bombarding me with shit. And I'm like, all right, how about you just only send me one a week? No, I'm still getting like 5 every hour. I'm like, what?
Jeez.
It's so annoying, to the point where my inbox just immediately just sends it to spam. Because you sending too much too often. I do not need to get more than one email from these like retailers. I don't need more than one email a week from you. And do not email me about what I put in my cart.
I know what that is now. I've been like looking into like digital marketing, and that is like a part of what we're told to do in digital marketing, is to convert those people, because like you're so fucking close to like to them like getting a sale. And so like, yes, they're reminding you, like, you have something in your cart, don't you want to just go on and make that last little click? Come on, give me that click, give me that money.
You reminded me of my cart. Gets on my fucking nerves and makes me stall even more. Like, literally, I will get an email and a text. I'm like, hey, you forgot the thing. I didn't forget.
And you know what makes that so easy now? Like, just AI and automation in general. Like, you could, that's like one click of a button, be like, do you want to give people cart, and do you want to give like reminders to people who have a full cart,
And I
who
can't
have
even
a who
unsubscribe
have
to
a
that.
who have abandoned carts. Yeah, it's called abandoned cart. You abandoned your cart, like, hello.
I need to like. I want there to be an option like, hey, do you want cart reminders so I can unclick it? Because again,
No, it's not about you. It's about me. I need to make this sale.
I know. It's just fucking annoying because it's like I sign up because I want to know when sales are going on or what have you. But like y'all be annoying about it.
Yeah, well,
I don't have the memory of a gnat. I still have the email in my email.
You know what you are? You're a click tease.
Yep.
You're a click tease.
I'm a tease in every other aspect of my life. What you think? What you thought? Because you're a retailer, I wouldn't be a tease here too. I gotta spend money. Of course, I'm gonna take my time, shop around, sit on it, wait for a sale to come up, and I'm glad I do, because I did that with Zara. Zara only has sales quarterly, spring and winter. That is it. They only have 2 sales throughout the year, and I got 2 purses for essentially the price of 1 because I waited. They still, oh Jesus! Sorry, I had some figurines fall off my desk. They in my actually no. Zara actually Zara isn't as annoying as the other sites, and they don't even tell you when the sale's happening. You gotta click on the page and see that the site's gonna have a sale in a couple hours. Get on my damn nerves. Yeah, I'm a click tease and what? Anyway, you got anything you looking forward to in 2025? No resolutions.
I've already got the thing that I was looking forward to most in the season that we're in now.
Oh, what was that?
That was some chalky hearts.
Oh God! Oh, I did see that they already got the Valentine's shit out, bro. It's January.
Yummy. Yes. Don't make me wait. Yeah.
It's not even a month before fucking.
We have to move it along to the next money-making holiday. Come on.
Well,
Christmas is over. We didn't get much out of New Year's.
You can get chalky hearts whenever.
No, you can't. You absolutely cannot.
I feel like you could.
You can't. I've tried.
You going to like Costco?
Yeah.
Wow.
Costco, Sam's Club, Amazon, all of them. They're like, it ain't Valentine's Day yet.
They act like it's strawberries and it's out of season. I
know, that's what they act like. That's why I'm happy to see.
You gotta grow strawberries. You just gotta crush some chalk for some chalky hearts. I can't believe you like the nasty ass candies.
I love them. And you know what? I got them and I thought like, yeah, I got them all to myself.
Girl,
as soon as I put away the groceries, guess who comes around talking about, ooh, what you got? I want some.
Your brother?
Some. Yes. And I was like, you don't like this kind. Nobody likes this kind but me. And he was like, that's not true. I love these. Give me some.
Yo.
And then I gave him some and then he was like, give me more.
Y'all over here keeping this business. Y'all the sole people keeping chalky hearts in business. Well, I don't have any resolutions. It's another year. It's another chance for me to just survive. Basically.
Yeah, here's to surviving.
Yeah. Things I'm looking forward to, music. I'm always excited about what new song what new artist is going to be like in high rotation for me. That's
Isn't
always
Kendrick Lamar touring with
he sure
SZA?
is. He sure is, and possibly Doechii. They've been
Oh,
teasing Doechii.
oh, shit.
Doechii has had a great year. It's
Yeah,
it's
I love
fun,
that for her.
right? It's fun seeing an artist grow, you know, because she's been steadily doing her thing for a while. So it's nice to see other people also catch on. Because I remember my friend putting me on to her with Yucky Blucky Fruitcake. Personally, I didn't care for Yucky Blucky Fruitcake. I didn't care for it. I liked the creativity of it, but it wasn't. I was like, yeah, okay, she's fun, she's quirky, but like her other tracks, I liked. And then to look at like the production value of her music video for Yucky Blucky Fruitcake to where she is now with The Nile is a River or even Crazy or Alter Ego, I'm like, oh, she got money. Yes, love this for her. And it's good. It's just good rap. It's really, really good rap. Good storytelling, production, all that. So young. She's like 26 or something. I'm like,
Wow. I
yeah,
had no idea.
she is young, but I love that because you can just kind of see the creative hunger still in her. You know, she hasn't. Yeah, she's 26, 1998. Woo! But she's hungry. I love that in artists who are like really passionate about what they do. You can see it in their music. Same with like Kendrick. Kendrick ain't young either, but he still has a passion about what he's trying to say. And he says it at his own pace. And I think TDE was just one of those places that help artists develop their sound and what they want to do without too much pressure.
What's TDE? I don't even know what that is.
TDE is the recording studio, not studio, label that Kendrick, SZA, and Doechii are or were under, because Kendrick isn't under TDE anymore, which I actually learned an interesting fact about his involvement with TDE, like his family involvement. So the guy who's the CEO of TDE, Anthony something, back in the day, he used to rob the KFC that Kendrick's father worked at.
No.
Yes. Back in the day, and from the way the story was told, Anthony was a menace. Like, he could have killed Kendrick's father that day that he came in and robbed him, but his father, already aware that this dude was a problem, was just like, hey man, you want some extra chicken? Like, whatever he was doing, he just like appeased Anthony, and Anthony left that day not killing Kendrick's father. And then years later, Kendrick signs the TDE and brings his dad by the studio, and lo and behold, the man who signed his son is the man that held him up all them years ago.
Wow. What do you even say?
Right.
Nice to see you again.
Right. And like, it's nice to see that your life turned around and you're helping my son, because Kendrick was saying, like, you know, that in another lifeline and another lifetime, Anthony could have killed my father. I could have grown up without a father. He could have been in jail, and I wouldn't be on the path that I am right now, making music, getting Pulitzers and shit.
Right.
Just crazy. But yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. That's so crazy how fate works out. That's
small world. Yeah. And it was just like a little bit of kindness, you know, because sometimes kindness can get you killed too. But in this instance, just, you know, hey man, you going through it. Here's an extra biscuit and an extra thigh. Just, you know, I don't want no trouble, man. You got it. Just like, thanks, man. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to. I want to see Doechii in concert, not necessarily touring with other people. I want a whole concert just of her because I missed her initial tour that she did. She did like a short mini tour this fall. I missed that because it sold out so fast. I'm hoping she does something else in 2025. Also looking forward to just the random ass memes that happen. Just
Is
memes
Tyler
are fun.
is Tyler the Creator touring this year?
Maybe he had that new album that came out a couple months ago, and he
Yeah,
had his
which I was really loving, and then Kendrick Lamar came out with his, and I was like, oh wait a minute,
DNX.
damn.
And he gonna be doing the Super Bowl, so
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not done yet. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Tyler.
Drake is suing folks.
You saw he came out with another album, not another album, like a little self-pity party track, Fighting Irish, that he tried to take down, but it was like, nigga, you can't post nothing on the internet. People gonna
Actually,
record it.
I had heard that Drake has been like releasing multiple diss tracks and then taking them down. He's like just kind of testing to see like which one will hit, but then like none of them hit. So
No. Also, you can't just post them up and take them down. But if we live, it's 2025. Everybody is screen recording. Everybody's using the Wayback Machine. Once it's up, somebody got it. It's up and it's stuck. He'll be alright though. It's fucking Drake. Like he's
rich.
Right. Like I have no sympathy for rich people. I really don't. Like, did you see the back and forth that's going on between Blake Lively and that Bodini dude?
No. Well, okay. I'm okay. So like I'm moderately aware of it. Like I guess Blake Lively, people were saying that she's a bitch, and then she said like this is slander, and this is all Baldini doing this to me because of the fact that he sexually harassed me and I called him out for it, and I, like, you do not care.
Yeah, it's like so here's the thing, right? So like going back to when that like This Is Us movie was premiering, people was already clocking it was weird that like she and the rest of the cast were never in like the same vicinity as Baldoni or whatever that nigga's name is, because not only is he the director, he was like the main star, and I'm like, why isn't he on the red carpet with everybody else? Why isn't he taking pictures with everybody else? Why aren't they in the same interviews together? So people were already clocking that as that's kind of weird. But then it started to come out that like maybe it's Blake's fault. Like Blake was taking over the production, and you see in other interviews she's usually kind of bitchy in these interviews, and she had her husband Ryan Reynolds come in and take over stuff too and throw his weight around because he's Ryan Reynolds. And like, the whole time I'm just thinking like, this isn't making me think any less of Blake Lively, because I didn't think much of her anyway. That's no shade. I really just don't care.
I know she's been famous for a long time.
Yeah,
but I didn't know. But I didn't know who she was
exactly
until this. And now that I know, I still like. There's a reason I didn't know. I'm not
right. Like again, this is no shade to her. I only knew her as an extension of Ryan Reynolds and like how they go back and forth with each other on social media. And I thought, oh, that's cute for a couple to do. Okay,
and that Baldoni guy, it took me a while to figure out that he was not the guy from Heroes and that he was the guy from Jane the Virgin.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't even know who he was. I had to know it was Jane the Virgin. I'm like, oh, okay, never watched that. I had a friend that watched that, but I'm like, okay, I guess.
I love Jane the Virgin so much that I've never watched the final episode.
Was he bi on the show or something?
No.
Okay. I thought
he was Jane's baby daddy.
Yeah, but I thought there was like a character on that show that was like bi or something, and that was
I don't think there was. No.
Either way, so you got two practical nobodies beefing with each
There's
other.
somebody. They're very famous and they're rich and they're good looking, which is why I don't care what happens.
In the
to
large
them.
scheme of things, they aren't on most people's radars unless you are a Jane the Virgin fan or a Gossip Girl fan. If you ain't one of those two things, you probably weren't checking for them like that.
I was a Jane the Virgin fan and a Heroes fan and still thought this guy was the other guy.
But so again, what I clocked as weird about the This Is Us whole situation was less about Blake Lively seems like a bitch. Like, I didn't really care if she was or not. My concern was that this was a movie adapting a book that was about domestic abuse, and they weren't talking about that element of the movie. I'm like, y'all keep playing up, ooh, wear your florals, go out with the girlies, but y'all not talking about the serious subject that would be hinted. And
you know what's confusing me further? I think that This Is Us is the name of a show where the guy from Heroes actually is in that.
There's a movie called
the name of this movie is This Ends With Us.
Oh, my bad. I keep fucking up. Yes. This ends with us, and then This Is Us. Yes. See?
You know what? Who cares who that guy really is?
Either way, my concern was less about the people and how they were promoting the movie. I didn't like how they were promoting the movie because he was the only one in interviews that was talking about the domestic violence aspect of it. But she's just talking about wear your florals. It's a movie about empowerment. And for those,
okay. So like also. This is another thing. I did not see that movie. I didn't want to see that movie. I didn't understand what it was. I didn't know if it was a rom-com or if it was a domestic violence or if it was a domestic violence movie or if it was it and that all got jumbled up in my head and I thought this is a domestic violence movie where they end up together at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. The marketing for this, the whole way they were pushing it was confusing as hell. You didn't know if you were going into it. It was a rom-com, a drama you didn't know. And part of that was the movie itself too, because if you watch the movie, it's from her perspective of her not seeing all the signs that this was a domestic situation until like later in the movie where they flip it and they show you how things were really happening. I get that being like a rug pull moment twist of a movie thing, but that could be very triggering for people who have been through domestic violence or is going through that, and for you to like not hint that this is what this movie is going to be talking about, that's gonna make the movie viewing experience, you know, not as great as they might have intended it to be. Like, it'll be impactful, but like not in the way that it should have been.
I've seen those kind of movies where like the twist is that like halfway through the movie you get a different perspective, but the movie that I'm thinking of, like it was a French movie, so I didn't see any trailers or anything around it, but it does seem like that would be very tricky as to how do you market it without giving the twist away, like that. And this and because I went in cold, like holy shit, they fucking got me. Like,
and it's harder too when it's domestic violence and it's America. Like, America is so sensitive about every goddamn thing. They need to be handheld about every plot point before going into a movie.
Well, actually, I just learned that there is new research out saying that trigger warnings don't do anything.
They don't.
They're completely ineffective, and it's just kind of like, wow, that would have been nice to know before I had to change every lesson plan to include so many trigger warnings, because I teach psychology and a lot of that stuff is triggering. Like,
it works for me. Now, no, because trigger warnings for me are just like a heads up of like what kind of things may be discussed, and if I don't want to read something that's going to discuss it, I'm gonna just avoid it. Like, it's
but what are you supposed to do when you're in a classroom? Like, I just told you about this thing and you can't escape it because you have to engage with it in order to get through the class. like,
yeah, no, trigger warnings only work if you have an option to avoid the thing.
right.
Like, you can't tell me we're going to talk about rape. Sit down. Like, no. What the fuck? Like, I know it's coming, but that's not going to make me any less anxious ridden. It's like, because like for me, when I see trigger warnings, it's more so like, you know, if you're watching a movie or a TV show and it's like,
yeah, I
extreme
actually
violence,
do like to know ahead of time if there's going to be a rape scene in this, because then I could just not watch the movie.
Right, you can, or you can skip past it.
Rape and violence towards children. So
yeah, stuff like that. And in today's streaming world, I think it would be helpful too now where you could like actually skip those scenes. Like there's a part,
but also like Netflix does that, and that's great. But Netflix does not put things. Yeah, they do. Like it's up in the top left-hand corner. Like they'll tell you, like as the movie is opening, they'll give you the warning about all of the stuff. But the thing is that sometimes I don't read it fast enough. So they've listed something like smoking is going to be in this. But as soon as the show starts, somebody kills themselves, and it's like, wait, I didn't.
Right, where was the warning about self-harm?
Well, yeah, the suicide thing was in there. It's just that you flashed it so quickly, and I was looking at something else.
Yeah, no,
I didn't see it. But thanks for warning me about the smoking.
Like, you need to have like a whole like 30-second black screen before a show starts of like what is going to be in the episode. Personally, there's very few things I've watched and I was like, I hate that I saw that. It's very rare. For me though, again, a lot of the trigger warnings or tags I often come across when I'm reading like fan fiction. Very helpful for me, because then I just know I don't want to read this. We gonna just keep it pushing. I'm not in your comments being like, you're disgusting for writing something like this. It's not for me. I don't know why you would want to write.
People do that in some free fan fiction. You are not assigned to read this, honey.
I mean, people who do that on fan fictions, they'll do it on, you know, YouTube videos. If you don't want to watch the topic, leave. What is you being in the comment section gonna do? It's already been produced. It's out there. People are watching it. Get over it. Just stop. So if I see certain tags, I'm like, oh, you doing what? Nah. But then sometimes I'll see a tag and be like, let me see the context. I might be into this if you write it well. 50% chance I'll be into it because they wrote it well. 50%. 50, yeah. 40%. Sometimes. And I'll be like, you know what? I normally, it's like the sour cream in the cake. I didn't think I liked it, but I think I'm into it.
You're into it. You didn't even know it was there. It's all
didn't even like know it was there. Like
light and fluffy.
It snuck up on you. You know, I mean, in your case, you don't write the ingredients on the cake, but like, even if you had, I didn't even clock it, because who would think it would be in this? And then I'm reading it, and it's like,
it's a whole big ass cake. It's got 1 tablespoon.
One tablespoon, but it's throughout. It's melded into the entirety of the experience. You're like, oh my god. I like it. Am I going to do it personally in my own life? No. But if you offer it to me again, I will probably partake in those specific situations. But I say all that to say, going back to Blake Lively and Baldoni and all them, the way Lively was handling the situation up front, her and Ryan Reynolds, they weren't saying nothing. They weren't talking to him. They weren't in the same room with him. They were just trying to just get this movie produced, promote it, and get the fuck on with their life. Right. But he apparently had some kind of like smear campaign going on in the background to paint her to be this kind of person, this, that, and the third. And then she comes out to say, well, actually, I was trying to be quiet because we had already handled all the issues I had on set. I addressed the issues. We addressed it as things were being produced. Every time an issue came up, I would do X, Y, Z in the third, blah, blah, blah. The movie's finally made. I'm just trying to move on. But now you're trying to smear me after the fact. So now I got to bring the receipts. And now he's coming out saying, these are edited. This is to smear me. And I'm just like, who are y'all? Like, no one, like, who are y'all to, like, really be going at each other like this? Again,
they are rich people who have the power to, like, sue each other.
I know, but it's
and the New York Times and anybody else, like, for fun.
And then for him to, like, Baldoni to be like, oh, she was using her husband against me or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, if my husband had the kind of clout that Ryan Reynolds had, hell yeah, I'd be using my husband too. The fuck? I'm feeling pressured or uncomfortable on set. Yes, bring my husband, Deadpool. Yeah, him. I want him on set. Also, his boyfriend Wolverine, if he has the time. I want them in my camp. Like, and again, Blake Lively, just because I don't know much about her, from what I've seen and heard, she's got her own money in her own right. She's got, like, I don't know, like a liquor thing going. She got a hair product that apparently white women don't like, but she's got a hair product. She's got liquor. She's got her acting career, and she's got she does like producing and directing on the side too. She gonna be all right. If not in her own way, then fucking Ryan Reynolds is gonna take care of her. Okay, he gonna take care of his family, because from what I hear, she just want to sit around and have babies anyway. So that's why I'm thinking this is just all Baldoni, because again, it's fucking Blake Lively. Like, so what if she's a bitch? Okay, and
yeah, I bet you gonna pay that bitch.
Right, like, let her be bitchy, like, because sometimes, like, the only thing I've seen of her being bitchy was like her being in an interview with a woman that she was just being real short with, because she was like implying that Blake Lively was pregnant, which she was at the time, but I guess she didn't want to talk about it during interviews, and like the questions being directed to her weren't about the movie. It was like, oh, what about the fashion you were wearing? She's like, are you asking these same questions to the dudes? Like, I get it. A lot of these women doing these press tours get the most lazy ass, boring ass questions about the movie. Oh, what was your workout routine? What was your favorite outfit? Like, nothing actually asking them about, like, getting into the role, or what was a really difficult line delivery kind of thing.
I like when they ask the men about their workout routine, and the men like just go off about how much they fucking hated it.
Yes, they hate it. They fucking hate it. Except for, like, maybe The Rock. The Rock is just like, I mean, his life is working out. But, like, every other nigga, they're like, oh, God.
They're like, I don't want to live like this. I did all of this to look hot for 2 seconds on screen, and it took months.
Yep. None of them like it.
But now I'm happy to put my shirt back on.
They're like, you ain't seeing this again. You ain't seeing this again.
I'm glad y'all filmed it.
Like, I had to starve myself for 2 days, and I couldn't drink any water for like 5 hours before the shoot, and then I passed out. Like, no man worth their salt who looks as good as they do in these movies are in the interviews encouraging anyone to do it themselves. No. They're like, no. Nah. I don't even want to do this. I only
like,
do
it have a regular workout routine. Be a regular dude.
Yeah, just be regular. Be regular. Women like bellies.
I don't mind a belly.
Most women don't.
It's what impressive. I do mind is you going off on me because I'm having some French fries and you can't. Cause
right, just because you jealous because you starving yourself.
You chose to eat boiled chicken and steamed broccoli. Like that ain't got shit to do with me.
Ain't got a goddamn thing to do with me. I'm gonna burn this off by the time I walk to the bathroom to shit it out. So be mad.
All right. Well, I'm going to get going. I have to do something to fix my relationship with my family because they really hated that fucking hamburger.
Oh my god. Maybe just make them another cake.
Oh, maybe I will.
Oh my god. They about to kick you out the house. Oh god. Well, I've been Ash.
And I've been Fatima.
And this has been
Fatash.
Fatash.
Bye.
Bye.